Okay, long story short, you'll see me looking up at my screens. Even though they're only 32 inches, they're up above the piano level and everything. So you'll see me looking up at the. No, I'm not looking at my wall. My wall with all my certifications and all that stuff on it, which is, I've got to really put them to use. I don't have music certification, but I've played piano ever since 19, I don't know, 70, 74. I started playing in high school, you know. I played trumpet and I played piano, and I picked up guitar in like the 80s and just kept playing guitar every time I had one. The only time I can't remember not having a guitar to play was when I was in the Army, you know. And the Army still had, you know, musical stuff. You know, I mean, we would cadence, we would, so we use our voice, we get in shape, and I bought a little keyboard there. That was only a 2 year period, and plus all the music that went down during my enlistment helped, I guess, help the world. You know, I mean, kind of shaped the situation. So after the Army, I got out, and you know, after working some for the Navy, then I um, uh, went back to school and got back into guitar. And that's when I made my first piano key guitar. Okay, so here's a picture of my kids when they were young, and this is in 1994. This was my first piano key guitar that I actually made. It wasn't my first one. The first one had just masking tape. So that's where I got the idea of, you know, just analyzing the guitar as if it had piano keys. And then I decided to color the notes like 20 years later because I was having trouble, you know, figuring out where these notes actually were. Okay, so the colored note, I started just coloring the note C, you know, so you'd have C colored, one color there. Oh, there's C. Okay, I can start this. Well, it turned out this is the color scheme. So this is the color scheme that I use with the. This is tuned to E now. This is for E tuning, just like your guitar. So that would be, this note would be E, and G would be the red note. You know, A would be light blue, B is dark blue, of course C is yellow. Now I had white for D, but I changed D to light purple and things like that. So let's get back to the lesson. Here's just one more look at one of the later guitars that I made, you know, and just has the notes on it. You can see the little keyboard-like things, and what we have here is, aside from a truck outside that probably needs a tune-up, um, check this out. So if I take that string, the note map that's on that string, and I stretch it out, see, it starts to look like piano keys. There's F, there's G, there's A, there's B going that way, C going that way, and then D, you know, and D's pretty much the only even keeled note on a piano, and A flat is the only even keeled black note on a piano, like that. So okay, so let's get back to the lesson because we've got a lot to cover, and but it's important stuff. We got some really cool stuff, and thank you for, you know, watching that diversion. You know, if I don't get to the lesson stuff, we'll never get to the lesson stuff. So we have the short circle of fifths here, and then we have the long patterns that we go into this A to A subroutine. It's like we start at 5/6 on the A string, shape is 5/6, Okay, and we end up on this, and then we just pick up the circle from there as if we only did the A in the first place. Because the wonderful thing about the string shape system that I made is that the individual string shapes can be anywhere. So if you're on an A string shape here, you just continue on to the E string shape on top of it, which is 6/7 root, and then to the C string shape, but you have to warp it up for the tuning third. So between the G and the B string, we have a tuning third, so the pattern has to be moved up 1 fret to maintain the perfect fourth shape of the patterns. And so you memorize the perfect fourth shapes of the patterns. But guess what? When you have the string shapes themselves, the individual string shapes, and this is just for example, and I'll keep it right here because I can show you this. So now what I could do is just make, now this is the S4E, the S3AXL, and the S4E on top of it, with just the minor notes selected out of the string shapes. Okay, this is it with this warped over, but these are just special cases. Okay, the pattern is in P4 tuning. So, all right, again, just an example of how I can zoom in on the chart there. You can see it's so small now. So again, this is the latest thing that I'm teaching, is that we take the short pattern chart, the circle of string shape fifths, and we're just going to do the same thing, go around D to A to E, but when we go to A, we're going to have a subroutine. Okay, now if we had like a 20 string guitar, I could show you how it goes through that. So, but if we start with C, I'm going to remove the capo just in case. If we started with C up here and went C, to G, to D, like that. Now we get to A. Now we're going to do this subroutine at A. Okay, now let's just pretend like we have a continuation of strings, so we're going to find this same note down here. That's not it. Okay. Or we could just start an octave down. So let's just start an F down here. This is the same note. We'll just go string right down and continue the pattern from there. Okay. So I forgot what pattern. Oh, we were on this. Right? Remember, we were at the 5/6 on the C. Then we went into the long pattern. We're just going to pick that up there and pretend like we've got more strings, and we're going to go from there into the E. So we went from the A to the E again. You see, we did the long pattern, we went from the A to E. We just took it down an octave so we don't run out of strings, right? A great pianist once said, "Don't run out of fingers." So we go into the E pattern there, the C pattern. We're going around the circle again. To G is 6/7 root. Okay, D is 2/3/4. And then now we get to the A again. We're going to go 5/6/7. Okay, and we'll stop here. So from the A, we're going to just go into what? We're in the sub pattern now. So we did this. Then we're going to go root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root. So we're 6/7 root on the G pattern there. We're practically in a G box. 6/7 root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root 2. Let's start that down here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root